Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Court. I'm your host Armand Batra, and today I have an extremely special guest, Dennis Armshaw. Dennis, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm Dennis Armshaw. I'm a student athlete at the Singapore American School, and I play basketball for Titans Academy and Global Squad.
Great to see you, Dennis.
Yeah,
Hope
thanks for
you're doing
having me, man. Appreciate
Of
it.
course, I know you gotta go to training after this, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible.
Yep.
So just to give like some background for our viewers at home, you have been playing for Singapore American School at Varsity for the last 3 years, and now you're gonna go into your fourth year of playing varsity basketball, right? So you made the team as a freshman,
Yes.
and throughout your time at SAS, you've also managed to become one of the most decorated basketball SAS athletes, right?
Maybe recent
So
times,
looking back on your journey up till this point, what specifically are you most proud of?
You mean up until you mean on the varsity team or counting before that?
Specifically, I want to talk about your journey in varsity itself.
Varsity. Well, as a team, I'm definitely most proud of winning IASs in my junior year. I mean, that was just incredibly special for multiple reasons. Like, of course, you want to win IASs. It's the goal at the end of the season that it's building up to. But like, just to win it with the seniors that I've been playing on the team with for so long and who I've grown to like adore as teammates was just a surreal feeling. Like, I was very emotional when they had left, and just to win that in their last year with them was just, there's nothing that can top that. So that's definitely, as a team, that's definitely the moment I was most proud of. And that kind of transpired based on just years of like trying and failing at certain tournaments, and just to finally come out on top was just surreal feeling, to be honest.
So, do you think those experiences with with Young and Matt and
Yeah.
Akash, do you think those kind of experiences did it help you bond off the court as well? Because
Yeah.
I know dealing with with that kind of failure before, and then dealing with oh my God, we finally won IASIS, which is
Yeah,
obviously a
yeah.
huge deal.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that made your bonds with Akash and Matt and all the seniors stronger?
Yeah, I'm always going to be great friends with those guys on and off the court. That's the great thing about sports. Like, since I've been playing with them for so many years, like especially Akash and Matt, who I've known since middle school, like the memories and the moments of going through ups and downs with them is what prospers our relationship, and I'm never gonna take for granted the moments with them. Like, that's even like, of course I would love to win IASIS, and that was the cherry on top for our journey as basketball players. The fact that we shared all those moments together is really what I'm gonna remember the most about my 3 years of playing with them.
That's great. That's awesome. It's awesome to see what you feel like as from a team standpoint,
Okay.
right? But I kind of want to get at the individual standpoint as well.
Okay.
Like, in your individual game, what do you think that you are most proud of throughout your varsity career?
There's been many moments where I've had confidence in myself, and but there's obviously moments where I've been a bit down, because obviously playing basketball or varsity level, especially at our school, comes with a lot of pressure because of the incredible culture surrounding our school. There's a few moments, obviously, even for myself, winning IASIS is up there. I thought I had a pretty good performance, and that I'm quite proud of that. Obviously, making the team at the start was something I'd wanted to do for a very long time, especially in freshman year. But I think the one that has to take the cake here is probably the moment I felt the most proud of myself individually was my freshman year in Hong Kong. So the first game, freshman year in Hong Kong, we played against a team from Bangkok. They were one of the weaker teams that tournament, and we beat them easily. I played pretty well. But then from the rest of that tournament until the playoffs or the semifinals and the finals, I played horrible. I played probably the worst tournament objectively I've played in so long, and I was feeling down about myself. I was still happy because the team won some games and qualified as the second seed, but I just felt horrible based on what I've played. And the moment I'm most proud of was how I bounced back in the playoffs. In the semifinals, I played probably one of my best games that season. I think I don't know how many points I scored, but I was active on the defensive end. I was hustling, and I helped the team win. And that was probably the proudest I've played, because I bounced back from having a subpar tournament, and then in the final I played great as well. Me and Preston as well had a great game, but I played really well that playoffs, and I ended up despite the fact that I had a bad tournament at the start, the bounce back was enough to get me all tournament
Oh
in that
wow.
tournament. So like, but that's not really what I'm
Yeah.
proud of. It's more the fact that I was able to bounce back from such a horrible tournament I was originally having,
Mm-hmm.
and then go on to have a tournament that people remember as a good tournament for me was just incredible. Even though we lost, which I was disappointed in, like at least for myself, I was happy I was able to bounce back from that.
Great. That sounds insane. I remember seeing posts on BJ's Big Boys after you guys won
Yeah,
with you, Preston, Divin, and Adam.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, holding the all tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like a pretty cool moment, honestly.
yeah. And to stand next to those guys, like especially like Preston, of course, was cool because I played with him for a while. Like, but to stand next next to Divin and Adam, who I'd been watching playing on Varsity and in upper age groups and me for a while, was also a moment I was proud of myself. So I think that tournament, how I bounced back, was probably what main moment I was proud of myself individually.
Hey, congrats, man. I mean, that's
Thank you.
honestly a great achievement because I know Hong Kong would have been a tough tournament.
Yeah. That was the
Yeah.
peak of Hong Kong. Like those teams were like St. Mary's was just a ridiculously good team. SAS Pussy was a great team. HKIS was a great team. So yeah, that was a great team.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned a lot about bouncing back
Yeah.
from that and how well you bounce back.
Yeah.
And while it's great that you were able to bounce back,
Yeah.
right? But what I want to get at is how specifically did you manage to bounce back from having such a horrible tournament into that kind of that spark that led to the change throughout the playoffs.
I think a main thing was that I needed to stop worrying about what I was or how I was playing, and that in the sense is that like the thing that bothers me the most about having a bad game is not necessarily like the stat sheet or it's the fact that I'm not doing my job and what coach relies on me to do, right? If coach relies on me to make shots and do certain things for the team, which I can do well, which he trusts me to do with my skill set, and I'm not able to do them, that really bothers me. But like in that tournament, that was like the first few times where I was able to put that behind me. Like in previous tournaments when it wasn't playing well, it really affected me. I was able to put it behind me because I cared about the team more than myself, and the team won some games and finished well. So I was just happy for the team, and I managed to, even though it was in the back of my mind, I was trying my best to ignore what I was doing. And by the time the game started, the semifinal, I wasn't even thinking about how I was having a bad tournament. I was just willing to put it all out there on the floor and help the team win.
Wow, it's a very like you just set the bar for yourself, kind of, right? Like you had an expectation, and you were like, I need to hit this not for myself, not for my stats, but for the good of the team, because the team needed you. And that's what kind of drove you to like, you know what, I have to change something. I have to change something now.
Yes.
That's a great way to look at it, honestly, because a lot of people what they usually do is like they're like, oh my god, I'm not scoring the points that I have to score.
Yeah.
And it's usually very self-centered and very self-focused. But the fact that you're doing this just for the good of the team, that's really great. Man.
Yeah, there's so many ways you can impact the game. Like even if it's not your job, like a lot of people have a skill set that you need to, like if you're a great rebounder, and that's what we rely on you a lot for in varsity. But if you're like having a bad rebounding game, you always make impact in other ways, which is like what we want from you. Like there's so many, it's the same for anyone with any skill set, really. So
I mean, you've also clearly you've had an insane basketball career at SAS, right? Looking back at these tournaments, I mean, not to toot your horn, but it's pretty impressive, like some of the stuff that you've done throughout your career in SAS basketball. So I know we spoke a lot about what you were most proud of, but I kind of want to get at, was there a specific game or season or even just like any moment? It could be on the court, it could be off the court, it could be wherever, right? That you realize that your journey had truly become special for you and memorable for you, not just based on accolades and the stuff that you've won, but more of like from an emotional and a qualitative standpoint.
Well, yeah. So that's a great question. So when I first made the varsity team, it was a very unfamiliar standpoint. Like, there was another freshman on the team, but Preston was a lot older than me, right? So like, I really felt it really was a thing I hadn't experienced before. Like, I'd been the youngest on teams before, but all of a sudden I'm this kid who was like 14 years old, and I'm playing with people who are basically grown men every day, and the way they acted was obviously a lot different. So that took a time for me to adjust. But I think it was again that first Hong Kong tournament that I really what was the way you put it? Sorry, in your question. Like,
Just like how like when did you realize how special your journey in SAS basketball became?
yeah. So the moment I realized how special the opportunity I had was definitely at that first Hong Kong tournament. Like, we grew a lot as a team, like from singing songs on the bus and becoming better friends and
Yeah.
whatnot. That was definitely the main moment where I realized, oh wow, I love varsity basketball. Because even though I was so much different and so much younger than everyone on the team, I was able to, vibe with them and have fun with them, which is why that trip was so, like, that built up my appreciation for varsity a lot more. But in regards to what you're saying about when I realized that my journey had been special,
Yeah.
well, to be honest, it's a lot of the losses. To be honest, the losses in tournaments that make it special, because you kind of feel that moment as brothers with the team, and then it takes a certain place
Yeah.
in your like heart and your drive, and that's again why winning felt so special. But I think those are the moments where I realized how special my journey was, when we lost games, when we had these big emotions, when we won important games, but like just the elation of those moments was the main thing for me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I totally agree with you. That's actually a great insight, because I didn't realize this up till this point, but the same is true for me as well. Like, it's the losses that we like. I know we didn't lose much during our season. Sorry, not to brag, but like I know we didn't have too many losses in our season, but the times we did lose, or the times where we won but we felt like we lost,
yeah.
and it kind of put like a sort of not really a pressure, but like a sort of driver in me to say, you know what, I have to better support this team. Even when we went away for winter break
Yeah.
on JV Red, it didn't feel the same, because there wasn't that intrinsic drive to I have to come back better for my team.
Yeah.
But when you're on varsity and you actually bond with your teammates,
Yeah.
like for me as well, like when I bonded with you guys and I went to winter, I came back from winter a much stronger, better basketball player.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So it kind of puts it in perspective that you're just working for something bigger than yourself,
Yeah.
right? Because when you're in varsity, you're not working to for like the coach to see you, and it's not as self-centered anymore. You're working for a bigger purpose, which I feel like I can kind of see the difference between JV Red and varsity now.
Yeah.
And how much of a difference actually, and how much we truly bonded in our season, and how that led me to get stronger and set that expectation for myself that I cannot hold these guys back when I get back from winter break,
Yeah.
right? And obviously throughout high school, playing varsity is a huge commitment, right? Because varsity takes up 5 days a week practice, and then you have games in between. And like me, I only had it my junior year, but you've had it since freshman year.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you also have to manage and balance your academics. So being a student athlete, what do you feel is like the hardest part about it?
The hardest part about it is, well, as a kid, like, or as a high schooler, especially as a student athlete, there's three main things, right? There's that you care about, right? Your academics, how well you perform at your sport, and your social life. And there's an amount of like, let's say you have you can drag a notch to one bit where you improve one aspect of your life, the other kind of goes down.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
Kind of like the reels you see online.
Yeah, the reels you see where you flip one switch and the other turns off.
Yeah.
So that's something I've always had. Like, there's always times where I've experienced where I'm playing better on the court and my grades drop, or where my grades improve, but my playing like maybe takes a hit slightly. But that's the main thing. I always have to sacrifice one thing in order to get the other thing. The main part is my social life. Like, there's so many people in our grade at school who have a lot more fun than I do. I don't really have that much fun compared to most people in our grade because of the sacrifices I need to make for basketball. So even though I'm able to maintain relatively good academics, it's the main hit is to my well-being and social well-being. But I think that if you love the sport like enough, then that sacrifice is completely worth it.
I mean, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like for all student athletes, it's kind of like the same.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that that the sacrifice you're making is actually it's not impacting you negatively in a way because you do enjoy basketball so much, right?
Yeah.
So it feels like a necessary sacrifice, but it's just the feeling, and especially I feel like if you I think you would agree that the feeling of winning IASIS just kind of makes it worth it. All the sacrifices you made.
Definitely.
Because everyone playing, like in our friend group, we plan hangouts,
Yeah.
and then it feels off to be like the one person who says, you know what, no, I can't hang out
Yeah.
today. I have to
Yeah.
I have a game tomorrow. I gotta
Horrible
sleep.
feeling. Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling, but then you go and win IASIS, and then you feel like, you know what, it was very much worth it.
Yeah.
And speaking on the
100%.
aspect of friends, right, and speaking of the aspect of teammates especially, and going back to what I said about having that expectation, like how I had the expectation for myself to become better over the winter, and I kind of want to get at, what do you feel is the most important quality in a teammate? Because it's great that you have expectations for yourself, but at the same time you also have to have some sort of expectations from your teammates, because basketball is played by the entire team.
Yeah.
Everyone plays a factor, and everyone also has to have some sort of expectations for each other in order to work as a cohesive unit.
Yes.
So what do you think is the most important quality that you look for or you've seen in one of your teammates?
Well, to be honest, it really depends on. Well, obviously the leaders I've had on all my teams. Like Young has been a great leader, senior this year. Devin, senior 2 years ago, is a great leader. Tristan on my Titans club team, he is too old to play now, but when I was younger, he was a great leader. Those are the people who like have the best qualities of teammates. They lift you up, they shout at you when you need to, and they just have a great sense of who the people
Mhm.
are on the team. They learn who the people are on their team, and that's what the best qualities in teammate are, is where they get to know everyone and know exactly what to say to everyone in certain moments to lift them up. But I would say you can't really do that in every situation on the team.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, for example, my freshman year, it would have been a bit like ridiculous if I was the one telling people or picking people's heads up, because I was 3 years younger than everyone else.
Mhm.
So like that, it would have been weird for an 18-year-old to have a 15-year-old say that to them. So my job on that team, or the qualities that I needed to represent on that first team, was just the ability to learn and lift people up a bit. I didn't need to be the main person doing that, but I just had to learn and play my role on that team, as well as not create any sort of negative
Mhm.
emotions or feelings that we had. That was my goal. That was what I was supposed to do. Obviously, when I get older, my leadership on the team improves as I've become more of the experienced players, and now it's my job to pick people younger than me or people my age who have as much experience on me up. Like, for example, this year there were two captains on the team, right? Young and Matt.
Mhm.
But Young and Matt didn't have anyone to really be a leader for them because they were the captains. So I was the one who was, me and Akash helped like talk to them and
Yeah.
lift them up, because they didn't have anyone to do that for them because they're the captains. So it really you really need to understand your role on the team. Different people have different jobs, some more difficult than others, just based on who they are and their relationship with people
Mhm.
on the team. So I think that is that's how I'd answer my question.
Okay, I mean, great. It's a great quality actually, leadership. It's very hard to see in a lot of people because a lot of people are quite afraid of speaking up and just being there
Yeah.
for their teammates. But I feel like in being on varsity basketball, it kind of becomes easier because you know each other so well,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of becomes easier for you to to just be able to be there for your teammates,
Okay.
right? But that's also a lot of off the court values that you look for,
Yeah.
right? So what specific values do you look for on the court? Like, not really like skill sets, but like, just working hard, just being a hard worker, giving it all, giving it your all, giving 100% to everything you do, being intentional,
Yeah.
coming to practice, doing all of that stuff. What do you feel like is the most important quality on the court in a teammate?
Um, I would say just. I mean, I'm gonna give a simple answer for this question, but it's mostly just the effort you put in. Unless you're the leader on the team, or one of the leaders on the team, like you should. The best quality is just to give 100% effort and not be selfish on the court. I think is the best quality. Obviously, if you are in those leadership positions, you should pick people up. You should not, like, you shouldn't get angry at people. But yeah, I think it's most necessary to just give your full effort and realize that you're not above the team in any moment in the game or in the season on the court at least.
That's great. I mean, I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%.
Yeah.
Because even in our games, like be it club or even during the varsity season, right? When I see like Tristan hustling for a loose ball, or see anyone really hustling and giving it their all,
Yeah.
in a game, in a practice, wherever,
Yeah.
it kind of makes me more secure in our team. Like this guy actually cares about something greater than just himself,
Yeah.
right? And then we're actually a team.
Yeah.
Kind of helps with the bonding as well a little bit,
Mm.
because then when we go into IASs, we have that extra chemistry, and we have that extra element of trust in each other to that okay, I know he's gonna go out and hustle for the team,
Yeah.
because that's what he does.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like I totally agree with you on that point. And before we wrap up our conversation, I kind of want to ask you just like something that happens behind the scenes,
Mm.
right? So what's something about your journey throughout basketball? It could be club, it could be varsity, it could be whatever. What's something about your journey that most people haven't seen or don't understand?
Well, most of it comes from how I was able to get into positions to do well. Obviously, like my parents have done everything they can to help me achieve my goals. But a huge part comes down to my coaches. Like for example, Coach Spencer at Titans has done a great job in developing me as a basketball player. And even though I work hard, I would never be where I am. I'd never be as good of a player as I am today without his contribution, because of how hard he works to bolster my journey. In addition to the people who have helped me along my journey, I would say that something that people don't see is the way I'm able to come back from setbacks. I'm not just talking about the one I mentioned in Hong Kong. I'm also talking about stuff like injuries. Like for example, over the winter break, my sophomore year, I had a bad ankle injury, and the doctors originally said I would be out for 3 months, which would be missing IASIS.
Yeah.
And I was obviously very sad about that, but like I didn't just take that as it is and like just feel sorry for myself. I worked in the physio almost every day. I worked so hard to try and get back into shape, because like if I didn't play at IASIS that year, I don't know what I would have done after going through all that with the team. And yeah, I was able to play. I wasn't 100%, but I still contributed a lot to the team. I had a good game. I had a good finish to the tournament. So yeah, that's just the kind of thing that people don't see, is how you need to bounce back from setbacks like that, because the journey won't be smooth sailing. There'll be a bunch of obstacles that come in your way, and you need to get around them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I would love to go on a tangent with you about this, right? But I think that's all the time we have for today.
Okay.
I just want to wrap this up by saying, like, you mainly what I got from the conversation is that you work for something greater than yourself. You work for the team.
Yeah.
Right. Along with that came personal achievement and personal accolades, but that was not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal was to win with the team, and the goal was to bond with the team and be able to obviously win with the team. And working towards that came the personal accolades and all of that stuff and all these accomplishments. But this is really insightful for me as well, into your journey, into your 4-year, like now going on 4-year varsity journey, being one of 2 guys who made varsity their freshman year, just to kind of realize that that you work for something bigger than yourself, but it is your original skill that got you into varsity in the first place. Okay, So thanks a lot for joining me, Dennis. I really appreciate these insights. This was awesome, honestly, because
Yeah.
I didn't really know much about your journey before this, right? Because obviously I can't read your mind. So
Yeah.
this was fabulous. Like this was really insightful for me, and I hope this was also really insightful for all our viewers.
Yeah.
So once again, I would like to just thank all my viewers for watching another episode of Beyond the Court. And I really hope that you've learned something about Dennis's journey through basketball, especially being, you know, a 4-year varsity player, as I've mentioned multiple times in our conversation. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode,
Yes.
and please make sure to leave a like, subscribe.
Yep.
Dennis, you want to advertise a little bit?
Yeah. Like the video, give him a huge thumbs up.
Alright. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man. Appreciate it.